What a great day to do some more math. We are going to start with Chapter 2, Section 5. And this whole unit is about solving for a variable. So we're going to get a letter alone. You might remember the equation d equals rt. That's distance equals rate times time. You'll use this quite a bit in science also. So you can actually solve this for any letter. Right now it's isolated for the D. But you could get the R alone by dividing both sides by T, and then that equation would be R equals D divided by T. You could also get the T alone by dividing by R. And that would give you T equals D divided by R. So all three of these equations are the same. This is the same as that, which is the same as D equals R times T. So you can solve for any letter. You can move any letter through undoing the order of operations. I'm going to give you another equation and we'll try to solve for a letter. So S equals W minus 10E divided by M. And this is an equation for a typing speed where S is the speed of the words per minute. W is the number of words. E is the number of errors. And M is the number of minutes. Okay, so that's just to help you connect and enjoy that. We could solve for any letter in this. So let's go ahead and solve for W. If we want to get the W alone, the first thing you would have to undo in order of operations, because remember when you have division, there's like this parentheses in the numerator and the denominator. So the first thing to undo would be the M. We're going to undo that through multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by M. So now we have MS equals W minus 10E. Again, our goal is to solve for W. So we could add the 10E because that's one term. So MS plus 10E equals W. You could also write that with the W on the left. Now I'm going to rewrite that initial equation and we're going to solve for a different letter. So S equals W minus 10E over M. Let's solve for E this time. Ooh, this division sign is a little long. Okay, so to get the E alone, again, the very first step would be to multiply by M. So W minus 10E equals MS. And if you want to get the E alone, the next step to undo is to move the W through subtraction because that's a positive W sitting right there. So MS minus W equals negative 10E. You don't want to forget that minus. You might want to slash and dash. And then to get the E alone, you would divide by negative 10. You could divide the whole thing by negative 10. That's one option. Or you could divide each individual thing by negative 10. It means the same exact thing. So our equation is E equals MS minus W over negative 10. I'm going to rewrite that same exact equation. And we're going to try to solve for m. So to get the m alone, we first need to get it off the bottom. So let's go ahead and still multiply by m. So ms equals w minus 10e. If our goal is for the m to be alone, you need to get rid of the s. An m next to an s means multiplication, so to undo that, you're going to do division. So m equals w minus 10e divided by s, and that is your answer. So all of these equations are the exact same equation, just solving for a different letter. They all mean the exact same thing. So the reason you would want to do this is if you know what letter is the unknown, you could manipulate the equation to make it easier to solve. All right. How about y equals mx plus b? Let's say we would like to solve for b. See if you can get the b alone. You can go ahead and hit pause. To get the b alone, you should have just subtracted the mx. So b equals y minus mx. You could also rewrite that as with the b on the left. And you could have the negative mx first and then a plus y. Those mean the exact same thing. Back to y equals mx plus b. Let's solve for m. Go ahead and pause, see if you can get the m alone. Hopefully your first step to undo order of operations was to subtract b. And then your second step would be to divide by x because you're trying to get the m alone, not the x. So m would equal y minus b over x. We're going to do one more with that. Y equals mx plus b. Go ahead and isolate the x. Hit pause, see if you can do it. First step would have been to subtract b. And then the second step to divide by m. So again, these equations are all identical the same. It'll give you the same result. The letters are just in different places. I'm going to give you one to try. And we'll just make this totally random letters. This has no meaning. A equals B plus CD divided by E. See if you can solve for B. Go ahead and hit pause. In order to get the B isolated, the first thing you would need to do is multiply by E. So AE, when in doubt, write alphabetical order, equals B plus CD. Next step would be to subtract the CD. So AE minus CD equals B. And you may just want to write that with the B on the left. And that is solving for B. We'll do another random one. F equals G times H plus J. Solve for G. Okay, this might be a tiny bit tricky. This whole thing is kind of considered linked together with the parentheses. So you can divide by h plus j all together because it's multiplied right there. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. So g, f, just kidding. Well, yeah, I can write the g, equals f divided by h plus j. Just one more. I just said that. This time for real. K equals L M N O P divided by Q. Solve for N. Go ahead and hit pause. Hopefully you realize that you should have undone the division by multiplying by Q. So division is undone. So QK equals LMNOP. And then to get the N alone, this is all multiplied together, you can divide by LMOP. So N equals QK divided by LMOP. I hope you are feeling like you are loving variables right now because this is one cool, crazy unit. Have a lovely evening.